Hi, it's Jennifer Hollick with Finding the Answers Journey. It's May 20th, 2019, and this is the Choosing You First, Creating Your Life video for this week. I did not record one last week. Things got very busy. I had several new potential client calls that I was working with and a lot of projects to finish up before I round out my month and head back to Europe. And one of the topics that keeps coming up is the concept of needs and what are your needs and where are we being needy, or where do we think if people don't need us that our whole world will collapse. And this month has been very powerful energetically. I've been reading a lot about that and feeling it. And I think many of us who are aware are on a major path of transformation right now, which I've been reading, I thought maybe for me will end at the end of this month. And I think a lot of it will shift and I won't feel all of this intensity and anxiety that I'm picking up, and a lot of like, okay, it's time to jump off the ledge. No fear, just go into the next phase of life. It's like that's where we're at. And many of the people that I'm friends with or that are in this masterclass that I'm teaching are also feeling this. And like I said, from what I'm reading online, it's the energy. Some energy workers are saying it won't really kind of resolve and die down until the summer solstice next month. So I guess we'll see what happens. But the concept of needs, just as I said, keeps showing up in my universe. And it's showing up in many ways. So for example, my oldest is graduating high school Friday, and my twins will graduate 8th grade on Saturday. And as a mother, my role and how much they need me, or in some cases how much I need them, has changed since they were born, which is normal. We all move through different phases. And I got a good look this weekend at the baseball game where my son didn't play so well and he was really upset with himself. And I couldn't comfort him. He needed to work through it on his own. And I think with all of the change and graduations and all of this, I walked away feeling very upset. Like, I can't fix this and I can't make him feel better, which leaves me very sad. But yet I know it's not my job to fix everything. And he needs to learn how to cope with they're not failures. He sees them that way. But nobody plays a perfect game every time. So learning to deal with the ups and downs of how we are in our day-to-day lives is one thing that you have to learn. And it's a constant thing. I mean, I'm still figuring that out, as I transition into my kids being older. I've never been here before. So now how do I deal with that without falling apart? So it's all part of this journey that we're on. There's another, a girlfriend and I are doing a book club, and the question of being needy is coming up. And is it selfish if we say to our spouse, our partner, our parents or coworkers or boss or whatever, I really need this to make this work or to be happier or whatever that is. And as a caregiver, I have not asked to have most of my needs met for a very long time. And you almost get into a position where you feel so guilty about even considering asking, even for one small thing like, please bring me a cup of coffee in the morning when I wake up. If it's hard to ask for that, it feels hard to ask for anything else. But my husband is doing a little bit better, and we've talked about some of this. And when we're together again in another week or so, we'll sit down and talk about our needs, because they've changed a lot for both of us. And as he's moving into a more stable place, what are the realistic needs that can be met for each of us? And what are some things that I need to say firmly, I really do need to have this taken care of, or whatever that is, to be happy and to move forward. So I don't think that's selfish. I think that's part of setting our boundaries, respecting ourselves, and keeping up our energy. And while that conversation may be difficult to have, and with all of the emotions and change happening right now, I am very pretty sure I will be requiring tissues for that conversation. But that's okay because that's a release, and it's good for me to say the things that I need. It can't all be about me giving to everybody on the planet all the time. It's not good for anybody. And I've realized recently too, my well is becoming dry, and I'm counting the days before I can get on that plane, sit in business class with my champagne, and then go to the beach a few days later and just disconnect from work, my phone, everything, and just ground myself and be in nature. So there's that aspect of either feeling needy or feeling guilty that we can't ask for our needs or whatever that is. So my invitation to you for this week, and I know for a lot of you, it's a week of transition. I know I'm not the only one with kids graduating or moving up in life in some form or fashion. And, it's kind of summertime and everything is blooming and there's a new life everywhere. And, I think it's time for us to look at how can we shift some of our energy out of this maybe winter funk and maybe some of the spring funk, because even in Chicago, we had snow a few weeks ago and we've had so much rain lately. It's just almost depressing. We were grateful yesterday at the baseball game when the sun came out for 5 minutes. So, looking for those little things to shift our energy is very important. So my invitation to you this week is to look at the places where your needs are not being met. And especially if you have had to, on purpose or because you felt guilty or whatever that is, put your needs aside for everybody else. It's time to look at that. And like I said, you don't have to start with something big. It can be something as simple as, please, could you just bring me a cup of coffee when I wake up in the morning? And that might just make all the difference. And I can tell you on Mother's Day, when one of my twins brought me a cup of coffee in bed in the morning after he knew I was awake, he let me sleep, it meant more to me than any gift they all could have given me that day. That one little thing meant so much. So make a list and start to talk to the people that you need to have some of your needs met. And if you'd like to comment, please do so on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, or you can always shoot me a message. And I would also like to put a plug in here for the Your Family War Journey, a transformational masterclass that will be opening up for July. I am getting ready to launch the registration for this next session. And the first session has been so successful in ways that I couldn't have even imagined. And people, through the book we're reading, through the live facilitations we have every week, through the one-on-one coaching I've offered, through the discussion questions, writing questions, different resources that I've offered, their lives are changing, the way they're looking at their family stories, the people in their family, things they thought were true, they're now questioning and thinking, maybe it really wasn't like that, or maybe I could do something different now. It's really made an impact. And so their feedback has provided some amazing insight into some things I was thinking about changing for the next session, and some things I hadn't considered that I think would just be great. So the next session will run for 7 weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks. And then there will probably also be a catching up session a few months later, just to see how is everybody doing. Because a lot of people said, at the end of this class, I'll read the book again. I want to spend more time with the writing prompts you gave us. I want to really take more time. So I think we'll be doing that. So if you're interested in that, I'm limiting it to 10, maybe 12 max people for this class, because the smaller group is better for live facilitation when we discuss things. If you're interested, please watch the Finding the Answers Journey Facebook page, or you can send me an email and say, yes, I want in. It will be a paid class, and there will be a payment plan if you're interested. So I'll be posting that soon, and I hope that you consider it. Have a great week. I will next week probably be posting from Europe, and I will let you know how it's going over there. Have a great week. Bye.